Last night in Washington, something extraordinary happened, an encounter most people saw, but almost nobody actually understood. The FIFA World Cup 2026 draw ceremony was supposed to be a sports event, a celebration, a global spectacle. But for the politically awake, for anyone paying attention to power dynamics, diplomacy, and the way world leaders really operate behind the curtain, it became one of the most telling moments of the entire year. Mark Carney and Donald Trump. Side by side. Talking. Smiling. Leaning in during the music, during the cheering, during the noise. Everyone was asking the same question: what are they saying? What is happening between these two? And why, of all moments, does Trump suddenly look like the one trying to impress Carney? Here's the twist: earlier that day, Carney and Trump held a 50-minute closed-door meeting.
Before moving forward, do subscribe for Parliament updates.
No staff. No advisors. No cameras. No handlers. Just two men, two chairs, and a room thick with geopolitical tension. 50 minutes is not small talk. 50 minutes is not symbolic. 50 minutes is negotiation. Influence. Positioning. A test of who bends, who stands firm, and who walks out with the upper hand. And when they later appeared on stage together, the world assumed they were simply making polite conversation. But now, thanks to professional lip-reading analysis, we finally know what Trump said. And it wasn't threats. It wasn't pressure. It wasn't tariffs, trade, or political tactics. It was Trump trying, genuinely trying, to charm Mark Carney. During the Village People's performance of YMCA, Trump leaned toward Carney and said, "I love this." That's not a political line. That's not a strategic message. That's Trump in a human moment, reaching out to Carney almost like a friend, wanting him to share the excitement. Carney, composed as always, didn't overreact. He didn't shrink. He didn't rush to flatter Trump. He simply responded with confidence, the kind of confidence that makes Trump keep talking. Then Trump said, "Come on, they make me happy." That line matters more than people realize. Trump doesn't normally seek emotional validation from world leaders. He demands attention. He expects people to respond to him. But here, he's inviting Carney into the moment. He wants Carney to react. He wants Carney to join him. That is where the deeper story begins. Trump, the man who overwhelms entire rooms, was the one seeking connection. And Carney? He remained unshaken, steady, and in total command of his own presence. Then came another line, decoded from the video, Trump turning to Melania and saying, "Come on, join in." Not because he suddenly wanted to participate in the performance, but because Carney was there. Trump was performing the moment, showcasing it, pulling others in, all while glancing toward Carney like he wanted him to see the entire scene. This is where the power dynamic flips. Most leaders, when Trump is in the room, try to avoid missteps. They react to his energy. They adjust to his dominance. They play defense. Carney doesn't. Even with Trump's tariff threats hanging over Canada's steel and manufacturing sectors, even with the entire North American trade framework under strain, even with Trump hinting he could dismantle the three-nation agreement, Carney showed no anxiety. No fear. No forced politeness. He didn't look like someone desperate to keep Trump happy. He looked like someone who knew exactly where he stood, and knew Trump recognized it too. That's diplomatic gravity. The kind only a few leaders on the world stage possess. Because remember, Trump doesn't share the spotlight. Trump takes it. But last night, he willingly, almost eagerly, shared it with Carney. That doesn't happen unless there is respect, not the loud public kind, but the quiet private kind that only shows itself in unguarded moments. The more you watch the footage, the clearer it becomes, Carney didn't just hold his own. He controlled the tempo of the interaction. And Trump responded to him, not the other way around. The cameras noticed. The reporters noticed. Even the crowd's energy shifted around their presence. Once again, just like at the G7, Carney became the gravitational center of the room. Clips of him trended faster. Cameras lingered longer. Other leaders glanced his way more often than toward Trump. And this is what rattles Trump more than anything. Carney doesn't try to dominate, but he naturally draws attention anyway. And that brings us back to the moment everyone keeps talking about, the private 50-minute meeting. The kind of meeting Trump usually uses to overwhelm the other side. To dominate. To break their confidence before stepping in front of the cameras. Except, that didn't happen this time. Because when the doors opened, Trump wasn't the calm one. He wasn't the centered one. He wasn't the one in control of the atmosphere. Carney was. Carney walked out relaxed, smiling, composed, the same steady presence he carried onto the ceremony stage. Meanwhile, Trump came out with an unusual eagerness, almost as though he was trying to continue a conversation he didn't quite finish inside the room. That is not how Trump treats leaders he overpowers. That is how Trump treats leaders who meet him at his level, or above it. And the public saw it. They felt it. Whether consciously or not, audiences know when someone has command of a moment. Carney had it. Trump was trying to match it. In global politics, that doesn't happen often. And the ripple effect is massive. Across social media, across diplomatic circles, across the international press, the same pattern keeps appearing. When Carney is in the room, he becomes the center of gravity. Reporters cluster around him. Cameras track him. Even world leaders subtly position themselves closer to him. That terrifies Trump more than any policy dispute. Because Trump feeds on attention, on dominance, on being the loudest energy in any space. But Carney doesn't fight for attention, he earns it. Naturally. Quietly. Consistently. And when the two are side by side, the contrast is undeniable. Trump performs. Carney controls. Trump gestures. Carney holds his ground. Trump seeks reaction. Carney gives him only what he chooses. This is why that lip-reading revelation matters so much. It wasn't just decoding a few casual sentences. It exposed the real dynamic between these two men, a dynamic Trump would never openly admit. But the camera did. The audio did. The body language did. When Trump leaned in, when he smiled, when he urged Carney to join him in the moment, those were the tells. Those were the cracks in the performance. Those were the moments where Trump's instinctive behavior revealed something the political world rarely sees. Donald Trump respects Mark Carney. Not politically. Not rhetorically. But instinctively, in the small, unrehearsed moments where true perception slips through. And that is exactly why so many people walked away from that ceremony feeling like they watched something significant even if they didn't know why. It was diplomacy happening in real time, in the middle of a stadium, during a music performance, wrapped in smiles and applause. But beneath it all, a power struggle quietly played out, and Carney came out on top without raising his voice, without posturing, without trying to overpower anyone. That is statesmanship. That is composure. That is influence. And that is why, every time these two appear together, Carney walks away looking stronger, steadier, and more respected. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, and want deeper analysis of the political moments the mainstream media misses entirely, make sure you subscribe to the channel. These insights, these conversations, these behind-the-scenes realities, they matter. And this community is building something powerful by paying attention. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Did this interaction surprise you? Did the lip reading reveal something you didn't expect? Do you think Carney is becoming one of the few leaders capable of navigating Trump without losing ground? Your reactions shape this space, and I can't wait to hear them.
Canada debates.